F100 Nation, Episode 12, Maxlider Brothers Customs. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Really excited about today's podcast, so we're just going to hop right into it.
All right, guys, we have a very special guest today, Erik from Maxlider Brothers Customs. If you haven't heard of these guys, there's a chance you don't have the internet or a smartphone. And I appreciate you taking the time to come on the podcast today.
Well, that's very gracious of you, Devan. Thank you for that introduction.
So I've been dying to get you on, and I mean I've got some questions for you. I'd love to know a little bit about how Maxlider Brothers Customs got started. What kind of drove you guys to what you're doing now?
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of yours, so thanks for having me on. Very blessed to have an opportunity to talk to you and your followers. Maxlider Brothers Customs really started in 1966 when my uncle, who worked for Ford Motor Company, bought our local dealership's first Bronco that they ever sold. And the thing about it is it literally sat on the lot until 1967, and he walked in and he's like, I'm tired of looking at this thing. I want to buy it. And since then, it began our family's love affair with, Broncos and old Ford 4x4s, Mustangs, and that type of stuff.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. So you guys it just snowballed from there, obviously. I mean, you guys have some unbelievable builds. You guys have built a phenomenal reputation for, turning out some of the prettiest shoebox Broncos, I think, anywhere. Bringing them back out, for people to be able to play with again. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we appreciate that. We're really blessed with a very growing interest in these old Broncos, and with some really awesome builders like Jonathan Ward at Icon and Brian Root at Classic Ford Broncos, and those guys, just kind of stretching the market, meaning we're doing cool things with them to modernize them and make them something you could drive very regularly. And as a result, they're the hottest vehicle on the planet. There's a recent article out that suggested that or stated that statistically. So, gone are the days where a really nice Bronco was $35,000. Now you can't hardly find something to get on the road for $35,000. And we sell Broncos. Our four-door Broncos go for $350,000. And they're the epitome of form and function, because we've spent time to really make it something you can drive and not just be an old utility wagon that you bounced off trees or bounced through fields.
So rolling into that, my first real exposure, to where I got to see your work in person, was actually at SEMA this last year with the four-door Bronco, and I think it was in the Yukon booth, right?
Yeah, we were really fortunate to have an opportunity to. When we started building that Bronco, we did it because we wanted to show Ford. We knew that the 2020 Bronco was coming, or the rumors were that they were going to reintroduce the Bronco, and so we thought let's make something that's the most radical thing anyone's ever seen, but also make it look like a Bronco, so that maybe Ford takes notice and maybe they look at that as something to base their new design on, and when word started to spread that we were building this, and then we were going to put a Roush supercharged Coyote 5-liter in it, and with all the fixings, people were really starting to get interested. And everything, we're shameless social media folks, and so everything we do, we put on social media, and we started to put little posts out, videos of us counting down and all the stress and all the obstacles. And I tell you, that build almost didn't happen a couple dozen times through that process, but we made it to SEMA. We actually drove it into the facility and got to be in the parade afterwards. And just the reaction, we were just so humbled with just a crowd of people around that thing taking pictures and just really enjoying it. And that's what it's all about for us is building something that people just really, really love and get enjoyment from. So that's a cool experience.
Man, you guys did a phenomenal job. I mean, it was beautiful. Everywhere I looked, like, there were little touches to it. So you guys just crushed it.
Well, Devan, all you need is $140,000 in parts and about 4,700 man hours, and you can build something like that, right? So if when in doubt, just pour more money and effort into it, and maybe eventually it'll look cool. So, the thing is we really wanted to make a statement with that vehicle. We weren't the first folks to build a four-door Bronco, and we're not claiming to be. There's other folks that built some really cool stuff out there. But we wanted it to be a statement build and show what was possible, and really maybe pave the way for Ford as they introduced the 2020 Bronco to, I believe they're going to make a four-door. They're going to have a two-door, they're going to have a four-door, and the old Bronco, enthusiasts, they're not sure about that. And what's really awesome is that we've taken this build across the country and showed it, and it's been an award-winning piece. It won some awards at SEMA, and part of the reason is people have received it so well, and they think it could be, the best compliment you could receive is, man, did Ford build that back in the day? Because that looks like it could have been built by Ford. And that was the purpose, is to do something that people might get confused about and think that it was built 40, 50 years ago, and maybe pave the way for Ford to introduce a four-door and have a great reaction to it.
Well, it's amazing. And if they're making a four-door, why not? I think that the four-door Broncos are amazing. Like the Centurions and stuff like that were coming out of Canada a long time ago. I think those are really cool-looking rigs. And the fact that you guys did it with the shoebox, and that, obviously it sounds like Ford did take notice, and they're going to go ahead and push that.
Well, we've gotten a great response from Ford, and there's some things that I can't say everything, but I think they really appreciated that build, and not just ours, but Paul Rutledge built a really cool SEMA Bronco that had a diesel engine in it, and just some people doing some different stuff with Broncos at the right time at a time when everybody's curious about what this thing's going to be like, and there's so much anticipation, and so I think although the hardcore Bronco nut may say no, they shouldn't build a four-door, Jeep has proven with the JK and what they've done with the Wrangler that they can be very successful, and ultimately an auto manufacturer, they want to sell units, right? They want to sell units, and they want to have vehicles on the road. And man, I'm super excited because I think it's going to be a smash hit. I think they're going to get it right, and we're all 5 years from now, we're going to see Broncos everywhere, and they're just going to be dismantling their counterparts on the Jeep side. So I'm really stoked about watching that happen and being part of that community. The really awesome thing about, we're old Mustang guys, right? And so we built Mustangs, and I've had probably 50, 60 Mustangs, and those are really awesome. But that marketplace is all about who can outdo the next person. And as you get a little older, you don't want to compete with everybody. You want to have friends and people that enjoy the same types of things. And the Bronco community is just unlike anything you've ever experienced, because anybody and everybody will help you, and they will share information. They'll stop alongside the road. They'll cheer you on, and we just get so much support from that marketplace and from that group of people that it's just really humbling to be part of. And we're trying to contribute back and give. We spend a lot of time answering technical questions, and we don't sell parts, right? I probably answer 10 to 15 to 20 technical questions a day through Facebook, Instagram, text, calls, and, we don't make $1 from that, but we believe in giving back to the community just like the community's given to us.
That's fantastic. Huge respect for that. Huge respect for that. I mean, you could be tight-lipped and you could just be like, nah, figure it out. So the fact that you do that is phenomenal. So thank you.
Well, there's a lot of people who do it, and what I would encourage your listeners is that, Devan, you're taking time to put this podcast together and put some cool content out there for people to listen to, and I've certainly enjoyed it. I haven't gotten to listen to all of them, but I've heard a number of them, and I'm really excited. People are doing stuff and sharing their information. That's what it's all about, right? It's the golden rule. We call it the golden rule plus here. Treat other people even better than you want to be treated. And that's kind of our mantra. And man, it's just a great time to be a Ford 4x4 and a Ford truck nut, whether it's a 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. Just a lot of cool things happening with, Ford channeling their focus. We've all seen the news, right? They're taking cars out of production because they want to emphasize and invest in the truck line, and it's just going to be really, really cool to watch.
Man, that's yeah, I'm excited, really excited. Let's see here. I want to know more about. So we're gonna slide into this because I'm itching to know more about it. But you guys are giving away a Bronco, and I think that is killer. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that want to get entered, need to get entered, and the people that haven't heard about it know they want to get entered. They just don't know yet. So
that's right.
So tell me about that, and what kind of spurred all that.
Yeah, we're big Diesel Brothers fans. I think those guys are just really good people, and I've watched those guys grow and what they've done and what they do for the community, and it's really inspiring to us. And so, they figured out a way that you can give away a vehicle by awarding entries based on certain criteria, and they use if you spend $5, you get an entry into the diesel truck giveaway that they've got. And so we had an idea of giving away a Bronco a long, long time ago. Actually, it was a giveaway a Mustang, and it didn't materialize because we didn't have any money, quite frankly. And so when this, now that we've matured a little bit and we've got some momentum, this Bronco is a 1978 freewheeling edition Bronco that I literally sourced. Devan, you'd be so excited to see it because we sourced it out of the desert in New Mexico. And so, close your eyes and think of this, right? You stumble across this old piece of metal sitting out back of someone's house, and you walk around the corner, and it's like, wait a minute, is that original paint? And is that original decals on the those are original decal, all cracked and all sun faded and stuff, and that raw patina where you can't replicate that, right? Only years of exposure in the sun and in a good climate does that. And so we found this Bronco. We wanted to build it for years, and I looked for one for 5-6 years. Finally found this one, and I was going to build it for my own. I wanted this vehicle. But we're so blessed with so many people that want to work with us and so many projects that we're doing that we're just not going to get a chance to do our own stuff. And so I every day I come into the shop and I see that thing sitting there. And I thought, you know what? I said to my assistant, I said, you know what? It's go time. We're going to give that thing away. And we want to share, some of our success with other people. And so we kind of took the Diesel Brothers playbook and said, every dollar you spend on MaxliderBros.com, we have some really cool, officially licensed Ford apparel, Bronco shirts, Ford 4x4 shirts, things like that. And every dollar you spend, you get an entry. And I was blown away by the reaction to that. And every week, what we're going to do is we started 2 weeks ago selecting finalists. And so between now and August 10th, we are going to pick 3 finalists each Friday afternoon, and those 3 finalists will be in a pool of 50 at that final stretch, and we'll pick a winner out of that pool of 50 people. And so what's really awesome is that we got some surprises along the way in that I've got some vendor sponsor interest, and they're looking to like get involved. So that vehicle is going to improve over time. Can't make the announcement yet of the first one, but we're going to make an important upgrade to that vehicle here soon because we've got some awesome people that want to be part of it.
So cool. So cool. And the fact that it's an original freewheeling package, I mean, whew. Yes, please.
If you don't know, those of you out there that are listening, if you don't know, the freewheeling package is a very rare package of Bronco back in 78, 79. And you know it because it has these kind of goofy stickers back in the day where, you know, they're kind of goofy, kind of quirky, but there's been a couple of freewheeling package Broncos on movies, and they're just super, to me, they're like the cat's pants, right? I want to drive an old worn out patinaed freewheeling package rig, and like this is my favorite vehicle we have, and it's sitting next to the 4-door Bronco. So I mean, you know how like I hold that in pretty high regard.
Absolutely, and yeah, it's definitely one of, or if not the coolest package you can get in that Bronco. I mean, I'm with you 100%. I have such a soft spot for that. I mean, it's crazy.
What was the movie, the Denzel Washington, Mark Wahlberg movie that they drove this exact truck? It wasn't the specific one, but it looked just like a brown with the same freewheeling stripes package. I can't remember the name of the movie. People ask me.
Let's see here.
Anyway, if any of you guys out there are listening and can phone that in or message that in, I'd love to know because I haven't been able to find it, but I need to because that'd be even cooler.
Yeah, let's see if we can figure that out. Is it Two Guns? Two Guns.
Two Guns. That's right. Yep, that's it. And I can't remember if it's Denzel. I think it's Denzel's driving it around. And I mean, it looks like that exact rig. Someone's gonna win it.
That's awesome. Well, you heard him. If you want to get entered, go to maxliderbros.com and do some shopping. I mean, and it sounds like it's going to just continue. So does it reset each week? Like, so if people buy 1 week, and then it resets, and then you draw 3 out of that week? Or is it like a continuing number, and then you draw 3 out of the total?
Well, that's what's cool, Devin, is that every week we draw 3 new ones, but the entries that didn't get drawn carry over. So if you think about this, the folks that got drawn, and we kicked it off the first week by actually drawing 5 finalists, and so the first week the pool was the smallest that it'll be. It was at that finalist drawing. The next week is a little bit bigger, you know, because those orders happened and the people from the first week carried over, and they will carry over again. Where tomorrow will be week 3. And so we'll draw 3 new people, and so the folks that bought, you know, the first week, they literally have 14 chances or 15 total chances to be selected. And each week, each week that reduces by 1, right? And you get the opportunity to win again. So what's really neat is like we've had people they've already got their Christmas shopping done, they bought their husband's, you know, birthday gift and the Father's Day gifts and stuff. And like, I've seen some like big orders come through. But most importantly, it's really good gear. We buy the best premium t-shirts, and, you know, the best compliment you can get in the apparel world is someone buying one and then coming back and buying 3 more because they loved it so much. And so we get this really premium, shirt. And, they're more expensive than the typical shirt, but they last a long time. They're really, really comfortable, and people really love them.
Wow, that's fantastic. I'm definitely placing an order, so you'll be seeing at least a couple orders come through from me.
Well, here's the deal. Here's a surprise, man. As we move forward through the contest, we're going to release some new designs. And I happen to know that you're going to enjoy one or two of those designs because it's going to cater to you and your audience. So we got a lot of love for Ford trucks. It's not just about Broncos here. I'm staring at a short box F-150 and a short box F-100 sitting right next to it, and we've got 4 or 5 trucks hanging around here too. So we're going to put some really cool gear out for all the Ford enthusiasts out there.
That's fantastic. Well, we'll definitely, keep an eye out for that and share it around as you guys release it.
Appreciate it.
So I got to know, I'm sure you get this question a lot. Do you have any big plans or any builds going on currently for 2018 SEMA or the 2019 SEMA show?
Oh, man, what can I say? I got to remember which NDAs I've signed and which ones. So I think the big thing is we will be at SEMA, and it's not, so we've gotten this a lot. What are you going to do to top the four-door Bronco? And I'm like, well, I don't think that's possible. It's still getting, written about, and you're going to see it appear in magazines. I don't know if I could say this, but what the heck? We just found out that it was, we won a spot in the PPG, the big, very respected and revered PPG calendar.
Wow.
So it'll be featured, I think, in April or May. Man, I'm not sure if I can say that. Shh, don't tell anybody. But it's going to be featured in that calendar, and we've gotten, just worldwide. I've had calls from Dubai and London, and just people really excited about it. So, how do you top that, right? Well, we've got some really cool tricks up our sleeve that I'm excited for people who love Broncos to really look at and sort through. We've been trying to improve this, the design of the Bronco is flawed in many areas, and we think that we can improve it through some custom design parts and whatnot. So we're working on some of that right now with some manufacturers and folks to really improve the design of the Bronco, and you'll see some of that at SEMA with our partners at MJR Industries. Mike, who has a history in building trophy trucks, Baja trucks, high-end, stuff that race through the desert. He's our fabrication partner, and we just got some really cool stuff cooking. So we're going to debut that at SEMA, and might have another trick up our sleeve too. So stay tuned. It'll all be on social media. You know that because we're shameless.
Well, you definitely have to follow these guys, on social media. If you haven't, head over, on Instagram, it's Maxlider Motors or at Maxlider Motors. Go give them a follow, comment. They're always posting cool stuff. They've always got great Instagram stories coming out. Like you said, you guys are extremely active on social media, and, I love following along. I crave kind of seeing what you guys are finding and digging out, and, so it's always exciting to see a new post. Yesterday I saw a post of those 3 Broncos on the trailer all lined up, and you were like, oh, well, pick which one you like the best. And I'm like, man, how do you pick? Right?
Yeah.
So you're doing a great job there. And, if you guys who are listening want to check out just some phenomenal content, you need to follow these guys. They do a great job.
Appreciate that.
So,
we just really believe in being transparent. I'll tell you what, we're just a couple hillbillies from a town of 350 people, and all we had was our friends and our family, right? We didn't come from anything. We didn't have much, and it was all about how you treat people. And we just want to inspire folks to, if they can see us being dumb and posting a funny video or a picture, or the hardships we go through, because you get your butt kicked in this industry, that, right? You've built cars, and it's a tough road, and so we just try to be ourselves out there and offer it up. And what's really cool is when we go to a show, we have people come up and they say, man, we've been following you on Instagram for 2 years, and I come to your page 3 times a day, and my wife thinks I have a problem. Or people I'll be on vacation or something, and people come up and, hey, you're Erik from Maxlider Brothers Customs. We love following your stuff, and here's a story where business is a ministry for us, and we want to inspire others to treat. We got to treat each other better, just all around. And if we can inspire folks to do that, man, that's we care less about money. It's all about people. So if you want to tune into that kind of stuff, come and take a look.
so cool. I mean, yeah, much respect. I have a lot of respect for you guys. So, I mean, keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate that. Thanks for putting this on, Devan. I know it takes time, and I know you're busy, and I've enjoyed watching. Some of you got a great eye. I was an art major, so I kind of geek out on some of the stuff you post because it's like there's some artistry there. Right? I don't know where that comes from. Where does that come from? I'm a self-taught kind of guy. I mean, I'm a fishing bum, so that was kind of like where everything started for me, was taking pictures of trout and guiding and doing different things like that. And so, I kind of have a weird way I like to see things. And so, as far as taking pictures of fish, I was like, well, why wouldn't that transfer to taking pictures of trucks and different things like that? So that's kind of the way I think about it. And sometimes I get lucky, and sometimes I just, they're terrible. But I have fun either way. Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you, the first time I ever discovered you is I was, doing the whole Instagram thing, and I'm thumbing through, seeing people that are interested in similar stuff, and I stumbled across a couple of your pictures, and I was just like, wow, you have a different way to look at it, and it's really inspiring, and it's very, very cool. So keep that up, because you're providing entertainment, and you're providing value to the people that tune in. And I know you got a big following, and would love to see that grow, because I think you're doing some awesome stuff, man.
Man, I'm really very flattered. Thank you so much. Thank you for the compliment. That means a lot. Well, absolutely. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you. I know you're a busy guy, so I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down, have a conversation with me, and share you guys' story, and there's obviously a ton more coming. So I look forward to continuing to follow along and see what you guys are doing. And yeah, thank you again.
My pleasure, man. Back at you, and would love to see it if you get a chance. Hit maxliderbros.com. That's our website. As Devan said, Maxlider Motors, Maxlider. Interesting thing is we get this a lot. Where does Maxlider come from? Well, Maxlider was a hard rock band. I was the lead singer. My brother was the lead guitar player, or rhythm guitar player, rather. And we're fortunate enough to do a little bit of touring and play some pretty awesome stages. And so when we started the business, that was the obvious choice. But no one knows what it is. They're like, what in the world's a Maxlider? So we started telling people it's our last name. It's not. But they're like, it's our last name. And they're like, oh, man, like Van Halen? I'm like, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, dude, that's cool. And so we just stuck. And so when we started the Bronco business, it was obviously Maxlider Brothers Customs. So Maxlider Motors on Instagram and Facebook. Come check us out. Hang out with us. Do some life with us. And watch what happens in the Bronco space, in the Ford space, man. We're going to put some really awesome content out there this year, so we'd love to benefit.
So excited to see what you guys come out with. I mean, you crush it. Absolutely crush it.
Appreciate it, Devan. Thanks for having me on, man. I'm humbled to get this opportunity.
And thank you. I know how busy you are, so I can't thank you enough for your time.
No problem. We'll talk to you very soon, and F100 Nation rules.
It was fantastic to have the opportunity to sit down and chat with Erik. Those guys over at Maxlider are doing some pretty awesome stuff. Make sure that you guys are giving them a follow on Facebook and Instagram at Maxlider Motors. Also, you guys can get entered to win a freewheeling package Bronco on their website, maxliderbros.com. They've also got tons of trucks, tons of Broncos for sale. Head over there, support those guys. Really, really thankful again to have had a chance to sit down and, hear their story and, what drives their passion. So pretty excited to see what else they've got here in the future. Thank you guys again for taking the time to sit down, listen to the podcast. Please, if you have a chance, rate it, review it, both on SoundCloud and on iTunes, and be sure to subscribe on YouTube as well. So thanks again, guys. We'll catch you next time.